Hello. There we go. Our microphone is working. Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Hello, listener. Check Discord, listener. You missed it if you were able to join, but I'm doing this now, so. How are we all doing? Happy New Year's to all. Okay, ladies and gents, so if you're watching live or if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, we are here on the ramp at Belfast in MSFS2024. And it is the weather is not good today, I have to say, but here we are in the DC-3. We're going to be flying this down to London Northolt as part of the British European Airways vintage route system. We're going to be flying Beeline 066 today. Not able, have a rough cough. Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon. I've just actually gone through. Is it Control C? Yeah, it's Control Shift C. Let's unpause track IR. Right, here we go, ladies and gents. This is the first time in 2024 that we're in the DC-3 on live stream. Everything seems to work as intended. Let's just make sure. Yep. Okay, everything is ready to roll. Let's just get the parking brake on. And what is that? That is, I think that should be down. Yes. So over Christmas, actually, I did record some videos of the DC-3 in 2024, but they didn't make the mark. They weren't good enough. They weren't up to snuff, as it was, and so I decided not to use them and not to upload them. And so here we are. So I'm just going to zoom in. Right, there's no ATC on the ground at Belfast Aldergrove at the moment, but as we take off and begin our climb, we should have a fair amount of ATC overhead England as we go, and we should have some sort of, I think Heathrow is online this evening, so we're going to see if we can get there in 2 hours. That's the goal, so we need to be pretty snappy. So first things first, let's pull up a little nav map, and we also have, I believe, a checklist that I have downloaded like years ago and never really used much, so I'm going to try and use that today. Where, there we go, Douglas DC-3 normal checklist. Let's pull that up. Right, that is not what I was looking for. That is a DC-3 checklist, but I have a much more easier to read DC-3 checklist, which fuel planner. No, I don't need the fuel planner. It's got to be in the I can't find it. Where did it go? Is that it? Oh, there it is. I was losing my head for a minute there. I was like, where is this? Okay, so I believe, yes, it's this one at the end. I'm going to be using this. So you can see before start engines, after start, before taxi, before takeoff, after takeoff, climb, cruise, descend, 30-minute checklist, approach, before landing and after landing. So really nicely laid out. That's what I'm going to be using. And let's pull up little nav map. So for our flight today, folks, we are going to actually be following, not flying up to Trondheim. That's the last time I used little nav map. Let's zoom out and let's have a look. Yes, we are down here. So we are going to use the this is an actual BEA vintage route, which is really cool. Let me just delete these. Remove user feature, remove user feature. We are going to use the original set as departure. So depart Belfast runway 07. Well, actually, I'll be the best judge of that. We're gonna have to depart 25 instead, but that's fine. On a heading direct NDB Oscar Yankee. He was going. Let's go find. I can hit the find button, which is, where's my find? There it is. If we just go in at Oscar Yankee, that's a VOR. Are there any NDBs Oscar Yankee? There it is. Okay. No, we're not going to do that. We are just going to go south, then right to direct NDB SU. Okay. Right to where's SU? SU. All nav aids. Let's go DME only. There we go. That's too far away. SU NDB. Oh no, NDB, not DME. There we go. SU. SU. There it is. Okay. Right, so we're going to go SU. South Bank. Then right to VOR IOM. Okay, so that's Isle of Man VOR. We can do that. Isle of Man VOR. Then left to direct Wallasey. Okay, I know where I'm going here. I've done this before. Direct to Wallasey and then direct to Honolly. Yeah, this is the standard, pretty standard. This is what I did on the outbound route as well. Honolly, and then Burkett or Burkett Head. No. What am I saying? Where am I going? BUR. Hang on. Honolly. Oh, NDB BUR. Where is that? Okay. Burnham. Oh, right. Okay, Burnham, and then inbound from Burnham to 07. But at our destination, I am pretty sure that the wind is coming the opposite way. So instead of doing that, we are going to come from Honolly. Let's go to Bovingdon. Let's delete that. And then from Bovingdon, yeah, here we go. Let's get rid of that. From Bovingdon, you know what? From Bovingdon, let's just go straight into RAF Northolt, because we're gonna have some help there. It's probably going to be dark by the time we get there, but the weather's good enough that I think we should be able to do a visual approach anyway. Which in those days, no, there is an ILS. Okay, the ILS is actually working for us. The wind is good for the ILS. Okay, so that's going to be the flight, and what is going to be our altitude? Our altitude is 9,500. 9,500. and 500. Okay, so that is the flight plan. Let's just pop that over there, and let us go to SimBrief. Let's throw this in SimBrief, because then we can immediately dispatch from SimBrief to VATSIM without having to Echo Golf, let's just pull up little nav map, Echo Golf Alpha Alpha, Echo Golf Whiskey Uniform, it's BEA and it's 066, aircraft type is a DC-3, DC-3, set, and in our flight plan we're going to go EGAA, SU, IOM, Wallasey, Honolly, Bovingdon, and Echo Golf Whiskey Uniform. Analyze route. No, let's not do this. Okay, let's just let's go HB. Will HB work instead? Yes, HB will work instead. We'll have to do that instead. Okay, we'll go inbound HB, which is Belfast City. Let's just change that. Okay, so and the altitude is 9,500 feet. That is all good. Kilograms, default, generate flight plan. Oh, one thing I didn't do is set weights and balances before I came into the sim. That's a problem. Oh, that's a pain. That's a pain. That's a pain. Okay, let's. Can I reset the weights and balances in 2024 while I'm in the sim? I can't. I pre-file on a network. VATSIM pre-file. Here we go. Let's just pre-file this, and it's going to be. It's going to be equipment suffix whiskey, I believe. Equipment is whiskey, and the remarks are going to be no GPS, or RNAV. File flight plan. Okay. Right, folks, that is that. Excuse me. Right, let's just add that to my other, dock that with all of my others. I had a problem with SimBrief not having profiles for the various DC-7 models. I mean, DC-7, to be fair, mate, unfortunately, you're just not going to have DC-7 anything really in flight plan. It's like the Bristol Britannia, no one knows what that is, which is very sad, but this is the world we live in. So let's just reset. No, let's just zoom out. Let's just reset my barometer thingy. Yep, and yes, lovely. We've got a little icon of a DC-3 in VATSIMradar.com. Okay, so we are going to be departing on Unicom, which is fine for the moment. And then, oh, hello, yes. Have all of the area controllers just disappeared all at once? That's weird. I was pretty sure that there were area controllers online a minute ago. Okay, I guess not. We'll figure it out as we go. Okay, so let's go through our. Let's look for the ability to change my weights and balances while I'm in the air, while I'm on the ground. I have a bad feeling I can't do that. Checklists, flight performance, mass and balance. Oh, yo, yes I can. Okay, this is helpful. I wasn't able to do this last time, was I? I don't think so. Okay, oh, this is in pounds. Of course it's in pounds. Can I change to kilograms? Settings, please, 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 please. Yes. Right. Now we're on to something. Quick fill. Okay, that works. Right, so let's go fuel first. No, let's go cargo first. Okay, 0 cargo and quick fill. Okay, so for our payload is going to be 2087. Can I... .5? I said point. No, it doesn't like points. Okay, I'm going to go with 8%. So for the cargo, I'm going to go like 1%. Okay, maybe we could go 4%, 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%, 10%. 12%, 13%, there you go. Well, let's go 11%. Yeah. Right, fuel. Fuel is 906 kilos, and it's, oh, thank you, yes. Now, I remember this. If I go down to here, oh no, because the electrics aren't on. It's not going to do anything anyway. The center tanks, it's the left and the right. The centers need to be zeroed. And it is the... Why are these not changing? This is very strange. I want the kilograms to change. Why are the kilograms not changing? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go like that, and in the left main I'm going to put, so 900 divided by 2 is about 450, so let's put 495. Let's put 495 in each. Screw it, let's just make the mains full, 100% full. Okay. Oh no, I should hit load in aircraft. Yeah, load in aircraft. Yeah, that's cool. I'm really glad that that's actually, let's just hit that for all of them just in case. Looks like the weather is actually getting better, ironically. So let's now start setting up. For those who are watching, for the like 3 people, for those who are watching, please chat in the chat. Oh, there's an update in FS Realistic. Fun. Excuse me. Okay, so let's go to my checklist and let's just do the before start checklist. Where is that checklist? There it is. Okay, so cockpit preparation has been completed. Overhead switches, let's check. So what we could do at this point, we could deploy the battery cart, and let's go on. No, we're on the battery cart now, which is good. And now that we've done that, do we have? Yes. You see the aux tanks are empty, and the 2 main tanks are full. That's what we wanted. So the overhead switches, everything is off as it should be. What is the outside ambient temperature? It's barely above 0. I think it's like 4 or 5. Let me have a look at the METAR. The METAR for is 5 degrees. Yeah. Okay. And the Viz is not good, but you know, it is what it is. Okay. So ignition master is going to go on. That's in. Magnetos should be off, which they are. Parking brake has been set. Levers and trims. What is the trims? Trims at 0, roughly at 0. Let's just have. Yeah, trim is at 0. Fuel tanks, we have checked those. Landing gear is down. Flap handle is neutral. Hydraulic levers, check. Hydraulic levers. Now, we don't have any hydraulics currently, but we need the engine pump selector needs to be forward. We will get more hydraulic pressure presently. Cowl flaps are open, ground power is set, and exterior lights as required. Let's put the beacon on preemptively, like so. There's no ATC and currently no traffic because he left. That's roughly the before start engines checklist done. Let's now go to the after start engines checklist. So we're basically going to start up the engine now. So let's start up engine number 2. We have the cowl flaps are open. We have the prop is full forward. Let's crack number 2, and let's get ready with the auto rich needs to come up. So I've done this a fair amount that I feel like I can do it without a checklist, but famous last words. The gens are off, the booster pumps are off, and the energizers are off. Let's go mag on. Now what we do is we want to bring the right hand energizer on, and you can actually hear that whirring up. And then what we want is we want to go to mesh and turn on the booster pump. Mesh, booster pump, and primer. Hold the primer on as you hear 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then bring the mixture up. And we should watch. Oh, I know what I stupidly did. Yeah, of course. Let's go fuel tank selector on. Let's make sure the RPM is sitting around 1,000 revs, and watching that the oil pressure is coming up. The fuel pressure is in the green already for number 2, which is good. Oil pressure is a bit sluggish, but again, it is a bit cold today, so we're expecting that. That's fine. The oil temperature is also coming up for number 2, which is good, and as that continues to rise, we should get smoother running, and the RPM should rise slightly. And the cylinder head temperature is coming up on number 2 as well. That is a good start. And with the left main tank already selected as well, let's crack the throttle on number 1 and make sure that we're ready for the mixture going rich. Let's crack open the mag, and let's go left energizer. And as we hear that coming up, yep, you hear the tone change on number 2. Look at that RPM bouncing up. That is because the oil and the cylinder heads have heated up sufficiently. So we need to retrim number 2 to idle at 1,000. The energizer is ready for number 1, so let's get the booster pump on, and let's get mesh and primer. And as we watch, oh, something weird happened. That was a failed start. Let's energize again. I looked over and the prop just stopped turning solid, so I'm not sure why that happened. Okay, so the fuel selector is on, the throttle is up, correct, and I'm ready with the mixture. Let's try that again. Mesh and prime. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the mixture comes up to full rich, and we look at our T's and P's. So let's just bump up the manifold on number 1 to get that RPM up. Oh, and the oil pressures come straight up. Fuel pressure is right up where it should be. Oil temperature is slowly rising. Cylinder head temperature is gradually rising as well. And let's just make sure that that oil pressure doesn't go below the red line. Yeah, let's try and keep it on number 2. So let's just warm up engine number 1 as well. And let me just have a look. Monitoring. Hello, 13 people watching on Twitch. Hello, folks. Say hello in the chat so I can see who you are. Just warming engine number 1, and it should do the same as number 2, and it should settle where number 2 is, so that we have, you know, I'm 15% on the right and 21% on the left. There it is. Let's bring that manifold pressure down. Okay, so that is both engines warmed up. We have hydraulic pressure on either side, so let's do the after start checklist. Battery card switched on, so let's go ship battery now. Let's take off the battery cart. Let's go avionics on, passing light on, position on. We are going to need these things today. The de-icers, and the prop de-icer will pop on as well. So the master battery is on, avionics on, throttle is 700 to 800 RPM. We've got it at 1000, I like it there. Oil temperature is above 40 Celsius, which they both are. Oil pressure is less than 125 psi, which it is, definitely. The fuel pressure is 16 to 18 psi, which it is. The hydraulic pressure should be 675 to 925 psi, which it is. What is it? 300. I think that's 300. It's not quite, and it's because I'm revving down quite low, so I'm gonna just let that do what it is. And the landing gear pressure, don't actually know where the landing gear pressure is. Hydraulic system reservoir. I don't know where the landing gear pressure is, but there we go. The before taxi checklist. Flight controls. Let's check the flight controls are free and clear. Exterior lights we have set as required. Radios, altimeter, and clock set. So for the radios, of course, we're going to go with 122.8 for our outbound Unicom frequency, and that's all we're going to do on COM 1. Just to keep it simple. And the outbound frequency for the ADF is going to be, the NDB is Belfast City, and it's going to be 420. So we're going to go 420 on the ADF, and we're going to turn on the ADF. And down below, we are going to get that sorted as we go. So for the squawk, we're just going to squawk 7,000, and we'll turn the transponder on now because we're about to take off. We're about to taxi. And oil temperature, instruments and gauges, safe operating limits. So the next thing is the before takeoff checklist. Hi, shouldn't the blue hydraulic lever be pointing backwards? No, in my experience it should be pointing forwards. So for the gyro pipe, oh, okay, right, okay. So, there you go, Thank you, Major Flawes. That is what the issue was. Now my hydraulic pressure is, actually, that's the landing gear pressure, and that's the hydraulic system pressure gauge. I just didn't look hard enough. But that is it now in the green for taxi. But when we take off and when we go to engage the gyro pilot, we need that forwards. So the outbound heading to Belfast is going to be a magnetic of 103. So let's just set that 103. Let's just go 103. No, other way. 3060 090. 103 is going to be, that's 1, 2, 3. So that's roughly the outbound heading we're going to hit for Belfast City NDB. And the actual swap compass rose. We should be able to pick up the ADF. I can't remember if there's an ADF to VOR button, but we'll see. Okay, folks, so we're going to taxi via Alpha, Lima, correction, sorry, Lima. No, we're going to taxi via Alpha for runway 25. So let's make our first, thank you, Major Flawes, that's very helpful of you. So we're going to taxi to the active, which is 25. And we are beeline 066. So let's make the call. Belfast traffic, beeline is 066 is taxiing from parking to the active runway 25 via Alpha. Belfast traffic. Okay. So with that made, we're going to bring off the parking brake, and we're going to do a right-hand roll. And we're just going to bump up the left he says. There you go. Sorry, oh sorry. Sorry. There we go. Nobody saw that. That's what you get whenever you're an airliner, a vintage airliner that's not designed to be pushed back. But there we go. Okay, so just taxiing out. So again, just reviewing, we've got our prop de-icer on, we've got our wing de-icer on, and our pitot heat de-icers, and our windshield de-icing on as well. Just checking to the right, checking to the left, and beginning our turn. Making sure that we do indeed have our cockpit shake effects on. Let's get quarter flaps. And we can now put the landing lights on and other assorted items. Now taxiing a little bit on the fast side, so we don't just dab the brakes every now and then. This is Belfast City by UK 2000. It looks really beautiful. I'm sure you'll agree. My performance in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 has been patchy at best. My system, sadly, is just one of those systems that is getting along in the tooth. It's an 8700K processor, and it's an RTX 2070 Super. I do have 64 gig RAM, but I think it's the processor is now quite long in the tooth. But there we go. Right, so before takeoff checklist, levers and trims we have set as required. Tail wheel locked, we're going to ignore that. Flaps as required, we've set. Hydraulic pressure is as we need. Panel warning lights, don't really have any we don't have any panel warning lights apart from that, which we will check at the hold here. As we come round, we're just going to stop and just check on things. I don't see anyone on the approach. Let's just pull the old girl up there and hit the parking brake. Okay, so what do we have here? That is the radio altitude, which is fine. We would expect that. We do have one down here, which is the oil pressure. That's because we are idling the engines, and one of them has dipped ever so slightly below. That's gone out now, the red line. Apart from that, everything is good to go. What we can do, which I should have done, is I've put the generators on. Now we've got amps coming in. The booster pumps are on for takeoff, which they should be. And yeah, doing a quick sweep. Everything looks good. Yep. So following on with the checklist, pitot heat is as required. Panel light warning lights have been checked. Exterior lights are as required. Cowl flaps should be on trail. Let's do that before takeoff. Fuel pumps should be on, and transponder is on out. Yes, it is on out. And just to double check on VATSPI, let's just go mode Charlie. And that is the before takeoff checklist. The next one is the after takeoff checklist. So let's just zoom out on little nav map and double check if anyone is coming in, which they are not, and then we will make our call. So Belfast Aldergrove traffic, beeline 066 is taking off runway 23, correction runway 25, and this will be a southeasterly departure IFR, Belfast Aldergrove traffic. Okay. Let's just get my feet back on the rudder pedals. Release parking brake and edge the baby forward. And up she goes. So we're cruising today at excuse me. We're cruising today at 9,500 feet. Okay. So we have a right-hand crosswind. So let's edge up those throttles, and away we go. Let's have see how we feel. There's the crosswind, there's the windsock, and I'm just feeding in left rudder. To keep us on the center line, and there's the wind, and she's off. Gear up. Okay, let's pitch down. Gain some speed. I'm not quite going to go flaps up yet. Yeah, let's do that now, actually. Flaps going up. Let's bring the RPM down to about 25. And bring the manifold down to about 35. Let's do a left-hand turnout. That's 1,000 feet. Continuing to climb. $1,500 feet. Right, so that's about due east. Let's get that forward. Interesting. $2,000 feet. Continuing in the climb. Nice stable climb there. Okay, so let's get the autopilot on, and you can see the aircraft starting to adjust. Now we need an ADF frequency. .420. That's not showing, and I don't know why. Let me have a look. No, we should be picking up that up. 420. Oh no, I'm sorry. That is our ADF frequency. Not these are a VOR. This is nav 1, nav 2. This is our ADF right here. So we're basically heading directly towards Belfast, which we can see visually anyway. So that's good. Speed is increased nicely. We can take our landing lights off now. How's the volumes, guys? Can you actually hear me? I feel like it's quite loud in my ears, so I'm going to turn it down. So I'm going to turn it down to about there. I'm also going to turn that down to about there. If you guys don't like those audio volumes, then let me know. Sounds good to me. Thank you for that. Okay, and this is where Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 really starts to shine in terms of its lighting. Its lighting engine is again a step above 2020, which was a huge step above P3D. So I have absolutely nothing to complain about. Your voice is a little overmodulated. Background sound is okay. Overmodulated as in it's coming through too strong and it's maybe clipping. I will yeah. Oh, actually, I can see that. Sorry, on my. I wasn't. Maybe that probably sounds a bit better now. I'm peaking in the amber about -10 decibels, which again might be still slightly too loud, but there we go. Hopefully that's a bit better. Thank you, Ward. So we're coming overhead Belfast. This is an area I've known quite well. I used to live here. This is added to the list of some of the places I used to live. I used to live in Carrickfergus, which is just over there, and Ballymoney, which is just back there, and this is Belfast. Yeah, so I know this area pretty well. Now I can hear no plane sound. I did tweak it down. Let me see. I'll tweak it up in OBS, but that's not changing it in my headphones. So hopefully it sounds louder for you, but it's not louder for me, which is what I want. Let me know what you think of that. So coming up overhead Belfast City Airport, which is going to be where the NDB is sat. But of course we've got no distance measurement equipment, which is what is really the issue, particularly when you're IMC. I'm just every now and then I'm glancing down and I'm just trying to make a bit of a visual reference on the potential for icing. That looks like the beginning of icing. Yeah, that actually looks like the beginning of icing. Yeah, that kind of looks like the beginning of icing, but we'll just have to keep... Oh my goodness, it is quite dark. Yo, that is pretty dark. We'll just have to keep a weather eye on the outside of the airframe. I was expecting icing to be happening. Right, so we know we're overhead the airport whenever we see the ADF needle swing quickly to the left. And once that happens, we then need to go on an outbound course of 132 magnetic. Inbound to the Isle of Man, which is 112.2, so we can... Oh, lovely. Lovely. 112.2. 112.2, we set that in... Yep, and we have already picked that up, so that's fine. Let's just take a moment... Excuse me. Let's just take a moment to look at this. And we've just come out from behind the cloud. And... have a look at Belfast in all its industrial glory. Engines sound too quiet, but it's not that great a problem. Let's see if I can tweak that up again, even a little bit louder for you. That's 0 decibels in OBS. Let me see what you think of that tweak. Oh, we have the Titanic Museum, which I've not actually been to. But of course I know it's there. That's the Titanic Museum. I think the Harland and Wolff dock. I think it's this one. Yeah, there you go. There's the two cranes, David and Goliath. That I think they were the two cranes, the Harland and Wolff H&W Harland and Wolff cranes that built the Titanic. I think it was in that slipway right there. And there, of course, is the airport. And my brother actually had a boat in a dock. I think it was down. Yeah, no, it was actually down in there. He has still a boat there. Anyway, we need to turn. So let's turn in the gyro pilot. Let's go to 3-2, which is 1-2, which is 320. There you go. So we're up through 6,000 feet now, and we're going to go off feet today. We're not going to go off a standard barometric pressure. But that's fine. So because we've climbed, the manifold pressure has come down, so let's just pop that back up to about 35, 36, and the RPM is still holding fine. The engine number 2 needs to come up ever so slightly. T's and P's still all looking good and stable. The oil temperature is a little bit high. Why is that so high? Why would the oil temperature be so high? I'm going to monitor that. It's not in the red, but it's higher than the green band. Anti-ice engine. Oh, interesting. Carb heat lock. Oh, I see. I see, that's the carb air. Actually, yo dudes, the carb air... Oh, I locked it. Okay, that's why. There you go. The carb air cannot be below 0. That's the worst thing at this altitude, so let's get that up. Hopefully all is still going well. Yeah, everything's going well so far, so we are still in the climb. 7,000 feet, and our speed is good, flaps are up. Yes, the ADF is pointing behind us, and the VOR is pointing ahead of us, and the VOR actually has we can actually track the radial with the ILS dial, but basically we need to set 134. Correction, 132. So if we go, if I just bring my head lower, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13. So that's 13, 1, 2. And we're pretty much right on the radial, which I'm happy about. Excuse me. I've struggling with a cough for a couple of weeks now, and it's just the tail end of that. Goodness me, the lighting. Oh, the lighting, guys. The lighting, absolutely beaut. And the icing, if that was indeed icing, which I'm starting to think that's not icing actually, because it's not. Well, could still be icing, is okay. Yeah, the lighting is starting to look really, really beautiful now. Of course, we're going to be landing in the dark, but we have an ILS at Northolt, so we're not going to worry too much about that. If we go to Volanta, we can see DC-3, BEA, not that one, BEA needs to be, which one is it? I'm just going to pause track IR here and bring over Volanta aircraft. It's Golf Alpha Mike November Whiskey, so that's what we're supposed to be. Golf Alpha Mike November Whiskey, that one there, and we go to add flight plan and add the Simbrief flight plan, and that brings in all of my data from Simbrief, which is fine, and the flight plan. So there we go, and it's giving me a flight plan saying 2 hours and 20 minutes. Wow. I hope we can improve that. That's going to be a bit of a problem. My dinner is at 6 p.m. But what the view, guys! That's just stunning. I knew the bad weather in Belfast was going to actually give us some nice cloudy views, and it definitely is delivered. So this actually isn't the sea right here that we're going over. This is an inlet from the sea, and actually, if you look to the south, I think it's obscured by fog. Is it in there? Is it in there? Yeah, no, I think it's obscured by fog, but there is an inlet that goes out to the sea here. So what we're flying over now is not actually the sea yet. So we're just going to continue out and see where we are. That's 8,000. Let's just pop up the manifold pressure again. And pause track IR. Actually, where we are on the radial, we've come off the radial ever so slightly to the left. So let's track further to the right, which is further south, which is like so. That should just adjust slightly. So the gyropilot is all about constant, minute adjustments. It's not perfect. It's not designed to be perfect. You will constantly need to be adjusting the gyropilot, and that's what makes gyropilot flying so satisfying when you get it right. For those of you who know about that fun stuff. So, oh no, sorry, that wasn't 12 people on Twitch. It was now 17 people on YouTube, rather. There's been a couple of subscribers in recent times, which I'm very thankful for. So for those of you who have subscribed recently and are watching along or watching afterwards on YouTube, welcome. Thanks for joining the crew. We do all things analog here. We don't really do RNAV stuff. The only RNAV stuff I really cover is is probably the PC-12, but that's because BizJets and GA Turbo is kind of that one. Okay, actually, sorry, I do some RNAV. I do the Garmin GTN 750 avionics suite in the general aviation aircraft that it's supported. So I have the PMS 750, which I use for RNAV stuff. But in terms of airliners, I am strictly vintage, historic, retro airline history on this channel. So it kind of means that I don't make videos in the whole A320, 737 scene. I do the F28. I will be doing the F27. The Air Anglia livery has just dropped on flightsim.to, so I'm going to be doing some Air Anglia livery F27 friendship flights soon. I just need to become more familiar with the aircraft. That's 9,000 feet. We've got about 500 feet to go before level off. And but the future is bright, because I'll tell you what, guys, the A300-B4 from Just Flight is coming for 2020 soon, this year at some point, and that is a CEVA INS airliner, an analog cockpit steam gauge CEVA INS airliner, which I'm super looking forward to getting into, and I'm going to be featuring it a lot on the channel. Of course, we have the FSS-727 freighter, which has a CEVA INS, which I've been enjoying, and we've featured on the channel. I can't really love the shape of the 727 very much, though. But maybe that's just the fisheye angle I have to view it from on my screen. I'm not sure. Maybe it should grow on me. But I'm looking for something that has longer legs than the 727 when INS navigation is concerned, which the A300 should have significantly longer legs than the 727. Only certain airlines flew the A300-B4 transatlantically. Lufthansa did a couple of times, and a few other airlines, but it was rarely used transatlantically. But I will be flying it transatlantically for the fun of it. But of course, the creme de la creme in CEVA INS and navigation will come to MSFS2024 probably, in the form of the PMDG 747-100, and that's going to be a triple INS airliner. That is going to be for the long haul routes. That is going to be, and of course, because it's going to be PMDG, it is going to be an airliner that comes with an accurate CEVA INS. The FSS 727, I found the CEVA INS is not quite where it should be in terms of the INS the updating function, which for a long-range cruise you really need to update your INSs quite frequently, actually. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that in the A300 and the 747 from PMDG. I am still kind of testing out the INS in the 727 from FSS in terms of its realignment in cruise. There's still some work to be done on it from the devs, I believe, so that's a work in progress. But we do have a CEVA INS that we can practice on in MSFS 2020, and I think the 727 is workable in 2024 now. I've just not managed to get it working in the sim yet. I've not tried to installing it in the sim or anything like that. So, but there's kind of where my channel is for those new folks who maybe have just subscribed recently and haven't watched the backlog of my content in P3D going back probably 13, 14, 15 years now. So let me just catch up. Henrik says PMDG 747 Classic Series Aerial Simulation 707. Yes, now the Aerial Simulation 707 I am looking forward to very much. Oh, actually, guys, you've mentioned the Aerodynamics DC-10. I don't know about that one. I'll have to Google that. But, guys, hold your horses. There is a Comet 4 coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's coming from the same developer who brought us the Piper Cub recently. His name is, let me get his name, it is Classic Aircraft Simulations, CAS, C-A-S, Classic Aircraft Simulations. Comet 4 is in development right now for the MSFS. I don't know if he's doing 2020, but it's probably coming for 2024 at this point, but it could be coming for 2020 as well. I haven't asked him. That speed fluctuation concerns me. Ooh, yes, I'm just looking on a little nav map, and that is a headwind that is gusting between 10 to 20 knots. It looks like. Anyway, I am actually going to keep the aircraft up at 35 inches manifold because I want to get there as soon as possible. I don't want this flight to be over 2 hours. Okay, it's come down to 1 hour 47 minutes. So that's 5, 6. Actually, no, that's not going to make it. Dang it. I might have to. I might have to make some alternative lunch or dinner arrangements here. Let me Google the aerodynamics DC-10. Let's have a look. Aerodynamics shares new DC-10 up. Aerodynamics shares new progress on the DC-10 for MSFS. How did I not see this? How did I not see this before? Oh, I think I did. Are there pictures of the cockpit? No. Does the DC-10 remind me? Is the DC-10 an analog air cockpit, or is it PFD and ND? I want to say the DC-10 is a completely analog. If it is, then I'm interested on that. I'm gonna jump on that because the more the merrier, hey? Oh. Ah, right. For those not familiar with the project, the Aerodynamics has been developing a high-quality freeware DC-10 since 2021. Okay. Last time I checked it up on the DC-10, what's up with the engine temperatures now? Oh dear. The oil temps are okay still. The cylinder head temperatures are fine, and the carb air is above 0 in the green, so I'm happy with those. Wheels up is red, which is, you know, the wheels should be up, so that's fine. Everything seems to be fine in cruise. Oil pressure slightly high, but again, I am gunning the engines. I would usually have them back in cruise, but I'm literally gunning them in climb, in climb now, and I think it's cold enough up here at the moment that they're actually fine. So I'm actually gonna. I'm happy just to leave them gun. Oh, look at our radial. Our radial is. Let's just come up slightly on that as well. Right, it's getting significantly dark. Let's get the cockpit lights on. There we go. There we go, ladies and gents. That is. Oh yeah. That's some colour. Oh, look at the blue out the window and then the orange in the cockpit. That looks beautiful. And actually, whenever I'm... Oh. No. Yes, whenever I mouse over the DME of 1, I can actually pull up the nautical miles, which is a cheat when you shouldn't shouldn't actually be able to do that, but it's a bit of a concession for those of us who who want the DME of the VOR radial. Yeah, things seem to be going well. Let me just text the wife about dinner. Five, six. Just trying to send off a quick text here. Let's just come up on the pitch slightly. Don't want to sink too far below 9,500 feet. And I can see Isle of Man off my 11 o'clock out the window, so just keeping an eye on that as well. I can see the lights of the Isle of Man. I thought there was... This is really sad. This is Saturday evening on VATSIM, and I'm not seeing any... Oh, hello. Not seeing any VATSIM. What is this, lol? I'm not really seeing any VATSIM. Well, okay, no, that is London. Okay, that is London. That is London Control. Yeah, London Control, okay. 121.03. So we've got maybe an hour, 45 minutes to an hour before we hit London Control. Or you could suffer an engine failure and show us an asynchronous landing. Yo, oh. Would you like to see an engine failure, guys? We could do an asynchronous landing, engine failure. The question is, where do we want to do that? The Isle of Man is a fun airport. I don't think I have the Isle of... Oh, what scenery do I have, actually? It would be nice, actually, to land at a controlled airport. Manchester has ATC. East Midlands has ATC. We could actually have a bit of fun this evening and do a diversion. So here we are. We could do an engine failure I mean, Manchester is one place we could go. I've got scenery for East Midlands, and it's got a tower on at the moment. It's not got a controller. I feel like an approach controller to say Mayday, Mayday to actually would be fun. Yeah, show us some action. Okay, guys, let me just make the adjustment. Yeah, so there's 2.2 miles. Yeah, so we're pretty much overhead. Yeah, we're overhead the Isle of Man, as you can see. Oh, doesn't she look a beauty? Now our new heading from here is going to be 126, which is essentially the same as what we've just been doing. We're on, but we're actually magnetic 120. So it's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. So that's about 126. Let's just go down slightly. We are we're directly overhead. There you go. We're directly overhead to the Isle of Man now. I can't remember if I have Isle of Man scenery in 2024. The Isle of Man airport is a lot of fun, and the Beeline DC-3s did come in here, but I feel like getting a bit closer to some VATSIM would be fun as well. So I think, oh yes, here we go. We've just got London North control has come on. Yes, that is what we asked for. Yeah, perfect. Oh yeah, there he is. There he is. Okay. 133,705.
Good level.
310, please.
So one X-ray, thanks. Climb level 310 and direct to Nogra for the Nogra 1 hotel.
Okay, I gotta get my
And Rainer 27 Foxtrot, which you know on standby 1 runway departure, and climbing through 4,600
Roger, standby.
London, good evening, Beeline 066 with you, 9,500 feet.
You are inbound to that.
Oh.
Steward 81 X-ray, direct to Nogra for the Nogra 1 hotel and climb flight level 310.
Sorry, go step on there. Yeah, direct Nogra for the Nogra 1 hotel, flight level 310, 81 X-ray.
That's Rainer 27 Foxtrot, London Allow, climb now, flight level 190.
Climb now, flight level 190, Rainer 27 Foxtrot.
And Beeline 066, London, thanks, squawk 1147.
1147 on the squawk, Beeline 066, thanks.
Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta London, it's the Otbed 1 Mike on arrival, when ready, descend flight level 180.
Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta, Outwest 1 Mike arrival,
set.
and when we be descending flight level 180.
So the outbound radial, well actually let's go inbound Wallasey now, which is 11410, is 1410.
Izzy 28 number 5, thanks, just leaving west south so you can continue with Unicom.
1410. Yep, so we've got 1410, 62 nautical miles, and it's a 126.
The Barmy 2 Alpha at Stansted, when ready, descend flight level 340.
Barmy 2 Alpha for Stansted, and when ready, 340, Ryanair, 1 Papa Whiskey.
London Central,
I think it's about there.
1782 inbound Gilly.
We're coming into some cloud here.
1782, you're outside my airspace, 1 of Unicom, 1228, goodbye.
DC-172, 1
Excuse me.
Unicom, 1 to the Norwegian flight.
1 Papa Whiskey Delta, London, it's the Otbed 1 Mike on arrival, when ready, descend flight level 180.
I want to get back on the radial here. Just looking on little nav map here. Have we found a victim? Have we found a victim? Yes, we have. So here we are in the airspace of London North, and I think Manchester might be my diversionary airport. For the lols, you know, for all the lols. And it has significant traffic for me to screw up.
Right at 1 Papa Whiskey, flying heading 230 degrees.
With an aircraft, that has an approach speed of like 90 knots.
Right at 27 Foxtrot, redirect to Finma.
Love it. Oh no, what are we doing? What are we doing?
London Control, good evening. Blue Max 5 Delta X-ray passing through 3,000 feet.
Blue Max 5 Delta X-ray on the science, climb now, flight level 190.
Oh no, I should have been going the other way.
5 Delta X-ray.
Idiot.
Right at 27 Foxtrot, direct to Finma.
Oh dudes. Oh dudes.
Right now 1 Pepper Whiskey, descend, flight level 260 to be level of beam Barmy.
Oh dudes.
260 and left for beam Barmy, Ryanair to Ryanair 1 Papa Whiskey.
Oh
Right at
dudes.
27 Foxtrot, direct to Finma.
I think I know what's going on. I think I'm getting I think I'm getting a compass heading de-alignment happening.
Right now 1 Papa Whiskey, turn right heading 235.
Usually in 2020 hitting the D key resets that, but it's not being reset, so it looks. What is my current heading here? What is little nav map is saying my current heading is 135, which actually 134. I mean, it's not terribly far out.
That's right, 81 X-ray. Yeah, that's fine, report back.
Yeah,
London Control,
I can see the difference.
Just 52 Alpha London, hello, squawk 4234, it's a Nogra 1 hotel arrival.
Squawk 4234, Nogra arrival, speedbird 52 Alpha.
Right now 1 Pepper Whiskey, resume our navigation to Barmy.
On navigation, direct Barmy, Ryanair 1 Papa Whiskey.
Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta, descend flight level 160.
Descending flight level 160, Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta.
You can adjust it on the gyro in front of the yoke.
Right now 27 Foxtrot, contact London on 121.030.
In front. Oh, the heading compass. Ah. Yes. Yes, I got you. I got you. I got you. Well, so I'm heading.
Right now 27 Foxtrot, contact London 121.030.
That's 131. So I'm gonna go.
Right now 1 Pepper Whiskey, contact London 127.105. Bye bye.
127.105.
That's pretty much where we are now. Okay, so
Right.
with that change.
Alpha, what's your requested level?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you for that.
Sorry. Speedbird 52 Alpha, what's your requested cruise level?
Speedbird 52 Alpha, requested cruise level 300.
Just 52 Alpha.
Okay, now we need to come up
Just
hot
52 Alpha,
flush
roger, redirect to no craft.
26. So we need to go down.
London Control, Ryanair 17 out of Manchester on the Sonnet 1.
There you go.
Romeo departure at flight level 5.
Ryanair 17, thanks. Climb now, flight level 110.
Climb now, flight level 110, Ryanair 17.
Osprey 36 Yankee on the
So,
directed Dane, descend flight
let's
level
just
180.
clean up, actually. Let's do the cruise checklist. Single head temperature should be less than 200 Celsius.
Seabird 52 Alpha, route direct Nugra.
Which it is just. Cowl flaps should be closed or off.
Sorry, Speedbird 52 Alpha, say again.
Seabird 52 Alpha, direct to Nugra.
Direct to Nugra, Speedbird 52 Alpha.
Seabird 52 Alpha, I need you on the odd level. Can you accept level 310?
310, that's absolutely fine. Well,
fuel
ascend
tank
now.
selectors,
Speedbird 52
exterior
Alpha.
lights,
Climb
mixtures.
flight level 310, break. Ryanair 17, turn right, heading 095.
Turn right, heading 01. Could you repeat that? Sorry, one more.
Heading 095.
Heading 095, Ryanair 17.
London Centre, Logan 708. Good evening. With you, flight level 400.
Logan 708, thanks. Barmy 1 hotel arrival, Heathrow.
Barmy 1 hotel arrival, Heathrow, Logan 708.
Ryanair 27 Foxtrot, contact London on 121.030. Blue Max 5 Delta X-ray, monitor 1228, goodbye.
122.8, Blue Max 5 Delta
Okay.
X.
So,
Ryanair 17, turn right, heading 105.
do I actually
Turn right,
have
heading
though?
105, Ryanair 17.
Logan 708, direct to Barmy.
Direct Barmy, Logan 708.
Hehehehe.
Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta, descend flight level 120.
Single engine go around.
Descending flight
Emergency
level
descent.
120, Whiskey Delta.
Emergency,
Ryanair 17, climb,
emergency
flight level
landing
190.
gear operation without hydraulic fluid.
Flight level 190,
Engine
Ryanair 17.
fire during start.
Seabird
Engine
81 X-ray, direct to
fire
Tobit.
or failure during takeoff or initial climb. Landing gear fire. Electrical smoke or fire. Heater fire. Propeller overspeed during takeoff.
Seabird 81 X-ray, direct to Tobit.
Engine restart or unfeathering in flight. Hydraulic system failure, loss hydraulic pressure. Operate gear flaps.
9237 London Control, climb now, flight level 110.
Control now, flight level 110.
Engine fire or failure during takeoff or initial
Ryanair
climb.
17, turn left, heading 095.
I want
Turn
during
left, heading
cruise.
095, Ryanair 17.
Oh, single engine go around. That must be rough. So, what is the engine fire or failure during takeoff or initial climb? So, before V1, abort takeoff, of course. After V1, continue takeoff. Mixture
Seabird
levers
4 Whiskey Delta, flyer heading up
auto-rich.
280 degrees. straight into
Propeller levers full
right to
forward.
Manchester.
Throttle levers 48 inches. Wow.
Fly heading
Flaps up,
28,
landing gear up.
32,
Affected engine identify.
Easy
Affected
9237,
engine
turn right, heading 080
throttle lever
degrees.
closed. Propeller lever full aft. Prop lever button push in. Mixture lever fuel cutoff. Car flaps
Ryanair
closed.
17,
Firewall shut
climb,
off.
flight level 280.
Okay, we can run through some of those.
Ryanair 17.
We can
Seabird
run
81
through
X-ray,
some of those.
contact London 127.105.
17105 or Speedbird 81 X-ray, cheers, thanks.
Right, Osprey 36 Yankee, descend flight level 140.
I think once I get to Wallasey, I will then simulate an engine failure. So
Ryanair 17, resume on navigation, direct to Amval.
Resume on navigation direct Anvil, Ryanair 17.
Easy 9237, turn right, heading 090 degrees, and climb, flight level 190.
Turn right, 090 degrees, and climb 190 degrees, 292.7.
Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta, descend flight level 90.
Descend flight level 900, Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta.
Another good evening, Ryanair 56 Bravo Romeo, we're doing descent flight level 290,
Inbound Leeming. Ryanair 56 Bravo Romeo, squawk 2166, Lipso 1 Lima.
2166, 1 Lima, Ryanair 56 Bravo Romeo, thanks.
Osprey 36 Yankee, descend flight level 120.
okay, we've got 20
London controller, hello, Razor 22 inbound leaving flight level 220. Razor 22, roger, descend flight level
24 souls
180,
on
leaving
board.
control airspace base 60. Descend 180 for leaving controlled airspace, Razor 22. Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta, turn left heading 270 degrees, descend flight level 80.
Descending flight level 80 and turn left heading 270 degrees, Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta.
Logan 708, when ready, descend flight level 300 to be level by Barmy.
When ready, down to flight level 300, level Barmy, Logan 708.
Easy 9237, resume my navigation to Lamix.
Right to Lamix, Easy 9237.
Ryanair 56 Bravo Romeo, route to Desig, descend flight level 200.
Desig and flight level 200, Ryanair 56 Bravo Romeo.
Coast Guard 201 under control, squawk 4310 and report your altitude on the Barnsley, Christian Humber pressure 1031.
Okay guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go use the bathroom quickly before we get set up for our emergency, and I'm just going to
Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta, you're heading to Manchester radar 118.580, goodbye.
118.580, thank you, bye bye, Freebird 4 Whiskey Delta.
Osprey 36 Yankee, descend flight level 80.
Okay, I'm going to go use the bathroom. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Coast Guard 201, identify deconfliction service, Humber 5 Q, present Humber QNH 1031. Razor 22, left controlled airspace now, remain outside of controlled airspace and shore discretion to leaving on Unicom 1228.
Remain outside of controlled airspace, my discretion to leaving, shift for outcoming.
Easy 9237, climb flight level 210.
Climb 210, Easy 9237.
Ryanair 17, route direct to Lamzo, and what's your requested level?
Requested level 30 and direct to Lanza, Ryanair 17.
Ryanair 17, climb flight level 370.
Climb flight level 370, Ryanair 17.
Easy 9237, what's your requested level?
Requested level 390, please, Easy 9237.
Roger. Osprey 36 Yankee, contact Manchester 118580, goodbye. Ryanair 56 Bravo Romeo, expecting for Alice approach runway 09.
09 and we've got latest status, Ryanair 56 Bravo Romeo.
Thank you. Logan 708, contact London 127.105, bye-bye.
127.105, many thanks, bye-bye.
Easy 9237, fly a heading of 105 and climb flight level 390.
Fly heading 105 and climb 390, Easy 9237.
Okay, so how to do a divert and an engine failure simulation in a vintage aircraft on VATSIM. So,
Divert 52 Alpha, route direct, stop it.
yeah, we lost our pilot flying. So, what we're going to do, this is the sitch, guys. Let's just brief this, right? So, we are
Divert
inbound
52 Alpha,
Wallasey.
route direct, stop it. AJ6 Mike Echo, thanks, direct Dane, descend flight level 180.
Alright, Dane, 180.
London Center, Euro Max 904 Echo Victor with you descending 3000.
Euromax 94 Echo Victor, hello, squawk 7260 and report.
I'm just going to
your
ask the controller if he's okay with me doing this beforehand.
60 passing flight level 150.
so it's not too much of a thing to screw him up, because it's VATSIM, and he has said no, that's fine by me. Okay, so he's fine with it. I've just asked him. He said, "Yep, fine to simulate that, no problem." So what we're going to do is when we're maybe here,
right heading 110 degrees.
We are going to simulate an engine failure. We'll say Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Beeline 066. Engine failure number 2. We have an engine failure on number 2 engine. Requesting divert to Manchester.
Exam 9 for Echo Vector identified.
And then he could bring us into Manchester and hand us over. So that would be the idea.
Descent flight level 50, expect ILS approach runway 08, Euromax on Echo Victor.
Let's just have a look outside. Ah, beautiful.
London control speed bed 52 Alpha with you. Flight level 310.
Good 52 Alpha, thanks. Route direct to Soppit.
Direct to Soppit, 2 bed 52 Alpha.
It sounds like a London controller, but I may be wrong. Got a nice moon out though.
Use the 86 Mike Echo, descend flight level 120.
So where are we exactly? We're apparently off the what are we doing here? So it should be 126. Yeah, should be 126. So we are to the left actually of sorry, we're to the right of track, so we need to come up to the lower numbers. So let's go 120 for the time being. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that should bring us in. Okay, so that's bringing us in overhead Wallasey, and we are 18 nautical miles out from Wallasey. We could declare an engine failure now, actually. Let's get closer to Wallasey before we do that. What are those lines of lights? Those are out in the North Sea. Those are in fact a wind farm. I saw them the other day actually in the daytime. It's a wind farm actually. So actually I'll show you here again. I think, oh no, I'm inside a cloud, but basically that's the coast over there, and this is all the ocean, and we're essentially looking at, yeah, you can see them in the dark. It's a wind farm. Huge wind farms. Massive.
DG86 Mike Echo, descend flight level 80.
So just chilling through the clouds here. Of course, the other issue we've got to
Exam 9
think
for Echo
about...
Victor, clear to join control airspace now on track, Isle of Man, and descent to altitude 3,000 feet on QNH 10.
The other thing we've got to think of is our fuel will be...
Descent 3000, QNH 1029.
bleed instruments, normal instrument engage. Oh, that's the manifold readout.
Run Air Flight 6 Bravo Romeo, descend flight level 130.
Descent flight level 130.
Yeah, we could actually drain.
9237, turn left heading 100 degrees.
We could every 10 minutes or so. I mean, it's not going to make a huge deal, I think, in the long run, because it's not going to be a far divert and landing. But we could change the left engine to go to the right main.
2003, November 1 Hotel, Shadow 1
so that it drains evenly over time. Like we could change it every 10 minutes.
Manchester 118580 Dubai.
It's not going to make a huge difference, I think. When I did my flight from San Francisco to Shannon, as I crossed the Labrador coast, I lost oil pressure in number 1, had to shut it down. It was nice, made a 13-hour flight into a 15-hour flight. Oh, Is that for real? Is that in the, that's the San Francisco to Shannon?
Lot 5, November, thanks.
What were you flying? Were you flying a vintage something, or... Look at the how the moon... Beautiful, look how the moon is illuminating that cloud. Beautiful. Overhead these wind farms. 10 nautical miles to Wallasey.
When ready, descend flight level 290.
Descend to flight level 290, speedbird 52 Alpha.
Should we pull the plug now, guys? I think we should pull the plug now.
Lot 5 November, redirecting NAPEX.
Okay, guys, let's do this. So what we've got to do is essentially to simulate an engine failure. Let's just pull the mixture. Let's just pull the mixture to idle cutoff and see what happens. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Boom. Lost engine number 2.
Euromax 9 for Echo Victor, enter controlled airspace, radar control service, fly now heading 250 degrees.
250 degrees, Euromax 9 for Echo Victor.
Okay, he's
Land control, good evening.
right. Let's get the propeller number 2 down.
Bravo, hello, climb now, flight level 110.
Climb flight level 110,
And we're going to have to descend.
Give a 52 Alpha, contact London.
Because we are descending. Right.
Contacting London on 127.105, speedbird 52 Alpha. Thank you.
London Control, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. B-line is 066, has lost engine number 2, requesting a divert to Manchester, please.
B-line 066, London, roger, Mayday, acknowledged, fly heading 090 degrees, and if able, maintain flight level 90.
Turn left heading 090 and maintain 9000 if able. B-line is 066, thank you.
Take for you to descend, just let me know.
Cheers.
Easy 84 Hotel Bravo.
Okay, he said 090.
Right heading 090, Easy 84 Hotel Bravo.
And see if I can maintain 90. Right, so we've cut off what we can. And let's just play around with the pitch. I've got engine number 1 firewalled, but up at 9,000 feet we may not have. We may not have the. We may not have the power. We might have the power actually. It'll just be on a slower cruise. Look at that. Hey. I will read your next comment, Elsinore, later. Let me just get set up. Right, let's run through our checklist.
B-line 066, descend flight level 80.
Descend 80, B-line 066, thank you.
Easy 84 Hotel Bravo, climb flight level 190.
Okay, let's descend as he's asking. And look at that, all of
Quebec, route direct Roslyn, and
look at that, all of Liverpool is lit up below us. Oh.
And 80 Golf Quebec is still just static, readable if you want.
Oh, yo, it's like frosting up as well.
Ryanair 56 Bravo, Romeo, report your heading.
I am definitely screenshotting that.
260 degrees, Ryanair 56 Bravo.
And the 55 Romeo, just fly heading 270 degrees and descend flight to level.
That's never something you want to see, ever.
Okay, heading 270 degrees and descend to flight level 90, Ryanair 56 Bravo Romeo.
Easy 84 Hotel Bravo, resume my navigation to Lamex and climb flight level 280.
Yeah, look at the frost on that bad boy. Okay.
Lamex and flight level 280, Easy 8 Hotel Bravo.
Easy 9237, resume my navigation direct to Lam Zone.
Right, let's zoom in on this so I can... So, here we go.
Easy 84 Hotel Bravo, what's your requested level?
370, Easy 8 Hotel Bravo.
Okay.
Okay, so mixture lever is the affected engine. We've identified. We've closed the.
56 Bravo Romeo. You've probably got about 60 track miles from current position.
Let's take off the landing gear warning horn. We've closed
straight in,
the throttle. And we've closed mixture, and we've closed
Roger, thanks for that.
propeller. We can turn off the booster pump on the right. We've feathered. Oh, actually, we actually need to push in and hold the feather, and it is basically at 0, so that's done. If fire exists, the cowl flap is already closed. The fire will shut off.
You're amongst 9 for Echo Victor, descend to altitude 2000 feet.
Descend 2000, you're amongst 9 for Echo Victor.
Beeline 066, G to low level to maintain.
I think we can maintain that 80 for now, beeline 066.
Roger, and when able, squawk 7700, please.
7700, beeline 066.
Easy 84 Hotel Bravo, climb flight level 350, I'll have higher for you shortly.
Climb level 350, easy 8 Hotel Bravo.
Done. Yeah,
Canada 859, monitor 1228.
we've got we're not on
Easy 84 Hotel Bravo, route direct to Dolas.
Route direct Dolas, Easy 84 Hotel Bravo.
London Control, for beeline 066, we were actually on local barometric pressure, but going over to standard, I see I'm lower. Would you like flight level 70?
Stand by, I'm just coordinate with Manchester.
Oh, sorry. Okay. He's coordinating with Manchester. Oh, Manchester radar's just come on. Yeah!
Beeline 066, descend flight level 60.
Flight level 60, beeline 066.
You're Mike 94 Echo Victor, turn left, heading of 120 degrees, cleared ILS approach, runway 08.
Turn left 120 degrees, cleared ILS 08.
Yeah, we've actually got...
Minor 56 Bravo, Romeo, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Rhino 56
we have Manchester approach. Manchester approach has come online, so, and he is going to be, let's get him preloaded. Approach is 1858.
Beeline 066, report you're heading now to Manchester on 118.580, bye-bye.
Report heading on 118.580. Thank you very much. Good evening, beeline 066. Manchester approach, good evening. We are beeline 066 with an engine number 2 failure, requesting immediate inbound. We're trying to maintain a gradual descent rate to flight level 060.
Beeline 066, roger. The current runway in use is 23 right, but I can try and get you 05 left if that'll help.
Currently we seem to be okay for 23 right for beeline 066, thanks.
Beeline 066, roger. You can continue your descent to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1032.
Continue down to 5,000 feet, QNH 1032, beeline 066, thanks. Okay, we can go local barometric pressure, which we've just done, and we can continue our descent. You have tracking on VATSIM. Okay, sorry guys, I'm actually just not going to pay too much attention to the chat until I get on the ground.
DC-3 Mike Echo, speed 160 knots to 4 DME, contact tower 118.630.
So let's get tower. 118630 is next. Right, so 118630 is there. The frequency for the localizer is 1095, so let's put 1095 in nav1. 1095 in nav1. And the approach is 231 is the localizer. So we're going to put 231 in the box. About there. Coming down through 6,000 feet. Let's not blow through... Oh no, he said 5,000 feet. So we're going to do that. We're coming down quite fast, actually. Yeah, we're coming down quite fast. Let's just bring the manifold back down to 35. Let's bring us down safe, yeah. Bring the manifold down to 35 inches. He's bringing us a direct heading to the end of the ILS, which is good. Let's get our landing lights on. Let's have a look at our other checklists. Now that we've sorted out the engine, so the before landing is altimeter check. We have parking brake knob check off. It is. Fuel pumps on. Our one fuel pump is on. Landing gear down. Flaps as desired, and autopilot off. The descent checklist, altimeter set, cylinder head temperature needs to be below 200 Celsius, which it kind of is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the number 2, we don't care about number 2, we still care about number 1, so that's okay as published, that's fine. The RPM for number 1 should be up to max at this point. I should have done that before. I read that on the checklist and I didn't do it. That's my fault. What we need to do now is we need to bring that back into trail, because it might need more oxygen as we kick it harder. As we kick engine number 1, particularly on final approach, as we kick it harder, it's going to need to be in either trail or open. Okay, so I can actually...
Line 066, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
3,000 feet, thanks for 066. He gave me that as I blew through 5,000 feet, so thank you very, very much for that. And that prop is probably completely caked in ice. Yeah, completely caked in ice now. Coming, barreling down at to... Thank you, Johan. It's just a lot of fun, isn't it? It's just a lot of fun. And for Beeline 066, we'll do our best on approach to keep our speeds up. We'll probably do a very reduced flaps landing. We'll call out our speeds to tower when we get there.
Beeline 066, roger, there is no other traffic inbound to affect.
Thanks. Okay, so he's basically saying we're actually okay on the speeds here. We're drifting to the left. For some weird reason, I think it's probably the oh look, we've got freezing rain. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Maybe it's above freezing actually by this point. Who knows? But we're coming down through 3,000 feet now, so we're going to be leveling off very soon. Let's
station calling Manchester. Nothing heard, just static.
Let's get.
Still just static.
Okay, this really goes to show how well the gyropilot holds an aircraft with only one engine. I'm not doing any any different rudder inputs? Maybe. Oh, there's definitely some icing happening there. Hello. Oh crap! Actually, that's why I have no landing gear. Oh crap. Okay, no autopilot now. Screw the autopilot. We need as much landing gear pressure as we possibly can. So we're flying manually now, guys, because I've just seen how little hydraulic pressure we actually have. Yeah. Okay, and of course in the real world we'd be briefing the passengers and everything as well, but let's just keep the engine number 1 up to potentially. Okay, I'm going to feed in left rudder to try and stabilize this a little bit of left rudder. We're going to try and hold. Oh crap! Yeah. Okay, we're going to firewall the throttle, and we should be in auto rich. There we go. There's a little bit of extra power now that we've flattened out in the.
Line 066. You can descend to altitude 2,000 feet.
At 2,000 feet, 066.
Line 066. Do you want a visual approach from there? The airfield's to your 3 o'clock, range of about 7 miles.
A visual approach should actually work for us. It's pretty clear where we are right now for 066, thanks.
Line 066, roger, cleared visual approach, runway 23 right.
Cleared visual approach, 23 right, 066. And trying desperately. Okay, he's given me 2,000 feet. So we can continue to gradually descend. And we do have minor icing happening as well. We do have our systems on, but our hydraulic situation is not good.
Line 066, let me know when you're visual with the field.
Well, actually, we've got bands of rain coming in between us and the field, so we're happy to take the ILS for 23 right, 066.
Line 066, roger, continue on the heading.
Continue. Yeah. Continuing on the heading. Due 090, and continuing down to 2,000. But the thing is, guys, is as we descend, we don't want to descend for no reason. With only one engine, altitude, particularly over a populated area, altitude is our friend, and so we don't want to get onto the ILS. We don't want to waste our altitude, and then get to a point where we realize if engine number 1 goes, we didn't have glide potential to the field. So I'm not throwing the aircraft down to 2,000 immediately, because I'm firewalling this throttle. Let's just double check. Yeah, oil temperatures are up. Oh crap, oil temperatures are up. Let's get, yeah, oil temperatures are up for and for Beeline 066, our oil temperatures on number 1 are getting quite high. We would request an immediate turn at this point inbound.
Beeline 066, roger, I can't vector you any less than 6 miles, I'm afraid. Turn right heading 130 degrees.
130 degrees, thanks, 066. Okay, so
DC-3 Golf, Quebec, hold is cancelled. Next time over Rosen, leave Rosen heading 120 degrees.
Oh, he's given that guy a hold. Okay, that is
Beeline 066, descend to altitude 1,600 feet.
1,600 feet, Beeline 066. Okay, let's feed in some left rudder here. And I've still got the throttle firewalled because
DC-2 Golf Quebec, just to confirm, leave Rosen heading 120 degrees.
let's actually just pull. Let's pull the throttle now, just to try to give the oil temperature a little bit of breathing room while we descend. How about that? Let's do that while we descend to 1600 feet.
John 066, turn right heading 200, cleared ILS 23 right.
Turn right heading 200, cleared ILS 23 right, beeline 066. Okay, 200 he said, so that's 20 on the...
DC-2 Golf Quebec, descend flight level 60.
And we should see the localizer come in soon. He's given us 200. So let's keep that turn. That's 18, 19, 20. Okay, and there is the localizer. And the localizer, if you remember, is 231. So we're actually going direct to 231 now. And that is 1600 feet. So let's bring in the... Yep, the oil temperature has gone down slightly. Yep, so we have the field in sight. We now have the field in sight, 066.
Beeline 066, thanks for tower 118.630, he's aware of your emergency.
That's 1863 for the tower. Thank you very much. Good evening, 066.
Good night.
Tower, good evening. This is Beeline 066, currently altitude 1400 feet on the ILS 23 right. Engine number 2 is dead, requesting immediate landing.
Beeline 066 Manchester Tower, hello, the surface winds are variable at 2 knots, runway 23 right, you are cleared to land.
Clear to land 23 right, thanks, 066. Okay, let's get the gear down. We are close to the silver line or the white line on the speedometer, so let's do that. And we've got our lights on. Now with the gear, let's actually just pay attention to what's going on. We're going to do a 0 flaps landing. Let's go from trail to open on the cowl flaps. We might need to gun the engine fairly much here, yeah. With this extra, and let's put in left hand crab for the and up trim. Yeah, I'm just getting stabilized here. We're below the glide, which is fine. That the approach controller gave us a descent rate so that we were below the glide, and currently holding about 110 knots or 110 miles an hour, so that's fine. That is okay.
Ryanair 53 Alpha Yankee, Hollywood 23 right.
Ryanair 53 Alpha Yankee Manchester Tower, hello, roger, hold Juliet 1.
That's the Ryanair holding to let me land. Oh crap. Okay, right guys, this is where the rubber hits the road. I've got the throttle firewalled and I am actually stalling. That's 100 knots. I've got to play this very, very carefully here, guys. I'm close to my stall. You can actually hear the stall. You'll probably see vibrations happening as I get close to it too. Okay, I think if I was any further out, I probably could have left it a little bit longer before putting the gear down. The gear is the gear is green. 0 flaps down. I've got my FPS is just tanked because there's probably like 15 people on the ground at Manchester. So there's that. So let's forget that. Okay, so let's bring the throttle back now, because now all we care about is the touchdown point, and we have now achieved the correct picture for a touchdown. And there is the beginning of a stall happening. Gonna basically just, I'm gonna keep...
Ryanair 53 Alpha Yankee by Juliet 1, line up runway 23 right.
There we go.
Line up at runway 23 right, Ryanair 53
Throttle idle. Let's get that tail wheel down. Woo! And let's just tap the brakes and vacate at the next exit. That was the next exit, so we're not gonna really make that. That's fine. Let's go to the next. Okay, so let's take the booster pump off. Go pitot off, wing off. Let's get this anti-icing off that we don't need. And let's just focus on getting out first. Runway 23 right vacated.
Beeline 066, thank you. Contact the ground 121.855. Just report your intentions to them.
121.855. Thank you very much for the help, Beeline 066. Okay.
No problem, glad you're down. Brake, Ryanair 53 Alpha Yankee. The surface winds are variable at 2 knots. Runway 23 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff runway 23 right, Ryanair 53 Alpha Yankee.
(121.855) set. Ground, good evening. Beeline 066 is a DC-3 with an engine 2 failure, just vacated onto Bravo Delta, requesting taxi to your stand of choice.
Glen 066, roger. If able, taxi, stand at 1T, via first right to Bravo, Papa and Lima.
Taxi stand 12 via Bravo Papa Lima, Beeline 066. Okay, we need to figure out what stand 12 is. This is where doing this gate 12. He's actually giving me right straight ahead. So that's Bravo. Correct. Yeah, Bravo, Papa, and then Lima. Okay, sweet. Off with the brakes, and there is the, goodness me, that looks beautiful. I tell you what, VATSIM, when it works, it really works, guys, doesn't it? Right, so I'm going to run through my after landing checklist while managing to taxi where I should. I need to be on, yeah, I need to be on this one here. Turn this to the right. And I need to be on the right there. Alpha Bravo, there you go, Bravo. Okay, so after landing checklist, tail wheel lever is unlocked. Flaps are up or neutral, cowl flaps are open, yep. Transponder is on standby. Let's just standby that bad boy. Let's just double check on, let's take off mode Charlie. Fuel pumps are off. Pitot heat is off. We turn that off, yeah. Exterior lights as required and elevated trim set neutral, okay. That landing rate was 80 feet per minute, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So Papa is the next left. For not, I have to say, for not practicing a diversion on VATSIM for quite a while, I feel like I did quite well. There's a lot of other things. This is Lima.
Hotel Foxtrot Oscar is ready.
Oh, it's Papa, sorry.
23 right.
This is Papa, and then
Hey,
Lima
Oscar,
is...
Roger. Taxi, holding point for Mike 1.
Lima is this one?
Easy right via Golf and Juliet.
Oh, that's stand 1-2.
Runway 23 right.
That's stand 1-2 right there, so let's peel off. And then let's swing round 90 degrees to the line, which is what any upstanding vintage airline captain would do in a DC-3 in a tail dragger airliner. So let's do that. Okay, full swing. Oh no, well, maybe not quite yet. Okay, let's... There we go. Parking brake, ladies and gents. We are on the chocks, and there's an EasyJet coming into land. How beautiful! I mean, I don't fly the modern jets on my YouTube channel. I do personally, and for my own enjoyment. I just don't really have much time in life to fly the modern jet airliners for myself on VATSIM. When I'm flying on VATSIM, I'm always flying vintage stuff. So let's get the lights off, position off, beacon off, and let's just get the avionics off, and let's go like so. I actually should have turned the mag off. That was one thing I should have turned off. But there we go. What we will do is we'll turn those on, and the ice, of course, is all melted off the airframe by this point. But there was a point where we did have some fairly major icing situations going on there. But ladies and gents, I have to say I super enjoyed that. I think, despite the fact that it wasn't one of those long old cruises, diversion detected, yes, and complete now. We are down on the ground safely in Manchester, not London Northolt, but that just gives me the opportunity at a later date to do the rest of the flight from Manchester onwards. Let me catch up. Hello, Ian. You may have just seen a diversion with on one engine. Let's just go up. Right, okay, Philippe, hello, I found your channel during 707 release. I love the traditional navigation. I love the traditional navigation too. I want to do more of it. Actually, I've been thinking recently of doing... I did do some celestial navigation in the Constellation, the Lockheed Constellation, back in my P3D days. I'm thinking of revisiting stellar navigation in the PMDG DC-6 in 2020. So I've got to get myself up to scratch on that and do some videos on that. But thanks for joining, Philippe. So Major Flawes, turn red valve in front to blue hydraulic lever. Let me actually jump in the cockpit and see what you were saying here, Major. Turn red valve in front of blue hydraulic lever. Oh, this one here. Ah. So turn red valve in front of blue hydraulic lever. Pump red handle on floor. Ah. So not the emergency autopilot, but it would have been that. Turn it, and then pump that on the floor. See, if I pump that on the floor, does that bring... Yeah, look, the hydraulic pressure's coming up. Guys, look at that. Look at that. Is it settling? Is it going to settle or is it going to go down? Ah, it's going to actually just gradually go down again. Interesting. I wonder why it's seeping out of the... Anyway, if the hydraulic pressure drops too low. Thank you, Major. Have you tried the Fokker-Wulf Condor? Seems to be a great aircraft for shared cockpit and 3 to 4 crew operation. So I've not tried the Condor. It's a little bit too early for me. I feel like interwar airliners is just a bit too crazy and a bit too basic for me. I feel like the Comet 4 and I feel like post-war airliners is more my thing. So the B377 Stratocruiser, along with the Constellations, the DC-6. But hey, I'm in a 1930s, a late 1930s airliner here, so I can't really say anything. I feel like the Condor. I think also that with the Condor, so few airlines flew it. It's basically Lufthansa, and as far as I'm aware, maybe some places in South America fly it, or flew it, but really, it's not just the airframe for me. It's what airlines flew it and what routes do they fly it is what kind of gets me into an airframe. So ask this later. We have problems, engine failure on management. Yeah, okay. I've never done a shared cockpit 3 to 4 man crew, that would be amazing. I think one of these vintage airliners, like the DC-6, I think it needs some of us in the community to all band it together and try out a 3-man shared cockpit flight. I think that would be amazing. Good luck. Insert airplane quote here. Very well done. That was awesome. Hello, Ian, and good luck. Nice landing. Well done. Thank you for saving our souls. IVAO is more popular here in Brazil, and it's very hard to submit radio-only flight plans. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, Philippe. Actually, Philippe, talking about South America, I discovered the other day, Bogota in Bolivia. Hang on. Apologies, let me get this accurate. Colombia, sorry. I discovered Bogota in Colombia with its like insane 8,000 feet approach, 8,000 feet elevation, which is just amazing. I really want to explore that altitude approach in some vintage airliners. So I'm exploring South America. I'm taking my first baby steps into South America. If you can give me any advice on aviation, and maybe particularly vintage aviation heritage in South America, I'd love to learn more about what kind of airlines and airliners flew in South America in the vintage days. I know, of course, Aerolíneas Argentinas. I know that one, but I need to learn more about that. Johan, yes, I really wish you had. I'd really wish to have you as a trainer on this DC-3. Johan, jump into Discord, my friend, and let's talk and let's do some shared cockpit in the DC-3 on VATSIM. Let's do it. How was your festive period, Ian? It was good, thank you. The folks came to stay. I caught a cold, and here I am. So back to work and. Still testing the waters of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, but on my system, like I was saying earlier in the live stream, on an i7 8700K, which is getting quite old now. It's kind of coming up. It's bottlenecking pretty bad, and of course everyone's on to the RTX 5000 series and selling their 4000 series, and I'm still on the RTX 2070 Super. So I don't have the money to upgrade my rig anytime soon, really. So I'm just looking at being stuck in 2024 with what I've got. And I noticed as I came down on the approach into Manchester this evening, my FPS suddenly tanked as I had to load all the traffic and stuff, and depending on which angle I'm looking, the FPS is going down. So it's just I have to put up with it and live with it. But I've got the auto FPS mod for 2024 running here, and it's showing I've got an FPS of 34 stable, 34, 33 in the sim. So if that's just what I've got to put up with, you know, I'm never going to be live streaming a very high fidelity add-on that's going to tank my FPS even harder, like a PMDG or a Phoenix, until of course the PMDG 747 Classic drops, and at some point in the next year or two. So we'll just see how we go. Maybe in the next year or two I might be able to upgrade my rig. We will see. Anyway, folks, that is, I think, enough for me. I'm going to go down and get some dinner and chillax with the wife. So 19 people watching on YouTube and 2 on Twitch. So thank you very much. I really enjoyed that approach. I really enjoyed the idea of taking off and having a plan, and then just being dynamic, rolling with the flow, and throwing an engine failure at myself, and seeing how ATC dealt with that as well. So I'm going to call it here this evening, guys. Hope you all enjoyed that. Let me see. Philippe, Colombia. Yeah, oh yeah. I have to info. I'll join your Discord in person. I try to let me just before I go. Let me throw you a fresh Discord invite. Here it is, coming to you in the chat right now. There you go. Hopefully you've got that, and I should see you jump in. And yeah, let's start a dialogue. Let's start a dialogue. And yes, Saturday night belongs to your wife. Yes, I highly recommend the Radeons from AMD. I'm on a Radeon 6750. Yay, Major Flawes is in. Good to see you. And we need Johan in as well. And a couple of other people as well. Philippe, we need Philippe in as well. So, Johan, Elsinore, you're into Radeon. We should chat rigs. We should chat rigs to see what prices are and what performances are. So maybe it's worth coming away from RTX from Nvidia just for the price now, but I must be guided by knowledgeable people. Anyway, folks, I'll continue these conversations on Discord. For me, that's it this evening, and I hope you all have a good evening. Really loved that live stream. That was fun. So there we go. Have a good evening.